Hi everyone and welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I'm going to be trying the new palette from Nomad Cosmetics. So this is the Paradise Islands palette. They were very kind and sent this to me in PR so I could get this video up before it launches. So for me, it launches in a couple days, but for you, it launches tomorrow. It looks bright and colorful and perfect for summer, so I can't wait to try this out and see what I think about it. And if you're new here, welcome. My name is Colin. I am a non-binary Latinx scientist and lover of makeup with a soft spot for indie makeup and colorful makeup. And I have new content every week, so I'd love to have you subscribe. So like I said, this is the Paradise Islands palette. It technically launches tomorrow as you're watching this. If you're watching it the day this goes live. I think it actually might technically launch tonight, like at midnight, but that's technically Tuesday. This should retail for $44, I believe, because it is one of their bigger palettes. It's cruelty-free and vegan. It's designed on location and then it's made in China. The outer box looks exactly the same, except for the back. So the back on this just has the Nomad information, and the back of the box itself has all of the colors, and you can see it's very brightly colored, and then a little description of like their inspiration for the palette. And then just to show you side by side with their last palette, the Whistler Snow Lodge palette, you can see it is quite a bit bigger. You do get a few more shades, and so this is going to be the same size as the Haunted Europe palette if you have that. Also, I do have a code with Nomad Cosmetics. It's just Bones, and that'll save you 10%. I don't earn kickback for that. It's not an affiliate code. It just saves you money. So I highly recommend using mine or someone's code to save a little bit of something. For me, the 10% codes I feel is like they take care of the tax, because Seattle tax is just about 10%. So it's like my way of bumping off the sales tax. So I'm gonna do swatches on my arm. I do have a medium olive undertone, so we'll see how they look on my skin. And then I'm gonna do at least 3 looks, I think. My allergies are weird lately. It's definitely that time of year, so I might sound a little off here and there. But when you open up the palette, you get this really beautiful big mirror. And then here is the color story, and it is so vibrant and so pretty. It is basically summer in a palette. So it looks like it has 8 mattes and 10 shimmers, so it's a little shimmer heavy. But it looks really pretty. I do like that it has some really bright colors, but it has like a little bit of depth with the blue and the green. So I can't wait to see how this performs. I really like the Nomad formula. It's really soft and a little powdery, but I don't mind that. It makes it blend really easily, but it's really pigmented, so they just work really well. And the shimmers are also just really pretty sparkly shimmers. So can't wait to try this out. So I went ahead and removed my watch. I have nothing on my arm, so these are just gonna be dry swatches on nothing. So the first shade here is Bora Bora, which looks like it might be a duochrome. Feels a little more, yeah, it's like a pink to blue. It's really pretty. It's a little drier and softer than their regular metallics. Their duochromes tend to be a little bit, like they feel different, but like a lot of brands do. Even ColourPop's duochromes feel different, like a little thinner. So I'm not really sure how they're made, but like it just seems to be a duochrome thing. And then we've got the shade Sun here, which is a nice sparkly pink, and the shade Sky, which kind of looks like a pastel peach. I'm curious to see how these bright shades will show up on my skin tone, since I have not the best luck with pastel shades. So that's really pretty. Yeah, it's definitely kind of satin. It's a duochrome, and it's definitely kind of satin, so it's kind of a blue-pink icy shade. And then there's the pink shimmer that's pink with like gold sparkle in it. And then here is that pastel peach. Yeah, that does not swatch well. This is the shade Sky. But swatch and performance in the eye are two very different things. So then the next shade is Moon, which is a nice bright coral, and I can see like pink sparkle in it. Oh, that comes out very orange when swatched. Manna, very nice pigmented orange. I kind of already ruined the embossing on that one. And Morea, it's a nice, wow, that's very pink. Okay. That's really pretty. So very bright. Okay, so then we've got Fish, which is a lime. And we've got Tiki, which is a lime matte. And Turtle, which looks like a green shimmer. Really like the way this looks. It's kind of minty. Very pretty. Okay, so we've got the shade Lizard, which looks like the darkest in the palette. Very nice, true green. Shark, which mine came a little damaged. Really pretty blue metallic, love that. Stingray looks like a teal. Yeah, kind of an aqua shade. That's really pretty. Yeah, that's really pretty. So shades like this tend to look a little different on me than they will on other people. Like my skin tone just kind of eats the green in them, so they tend to pull very blue. And they might look a little more green blue on someone else that's not an olive. Okay, so now we've got the dark blue shade. Feels very soft. Okay, that's more just mid-tone blue, like a really nice bright blue. Ocean is the blue metallic here. That's beautiful. And then Dolphin is this bright blue. Running out of arm space. So there's the blue matte, very nice. The blue shimmer, swatched a little sheer, but looks really pretty. And then the bright blue matte. So you can see how much more green, like aqua teal this looks compared to this. And then the last three are what looks like it might be another duochrome, and then we've got another matte and a metallic. Okay, so this looks blue. Not sure if I see a flip in it or not, but it is kind of the same formula as the other. Then we've got, this looks like the shade Feather in the new Natasha Denona pastel palette. And then we've got a purple shimmer. Okay, so it's like a white to blue. That's really pretty. So that is the color story. That's really pretty. This, I think, swatched better than Feather from Natasha Denona. So this, very colorful, very fun. It's basically summer in a palette. So I can't wait to try this. I'm gonna do a look on each eye and then I think one look over my whole face for the rest of the day. But we'll see, maybe I'll do 4 looks. So I'm gonna go wipe this off so I don't get sparkle everywhere and be right back. Okay, so I have a lot of looks that I wanna try. And one thing I like about this is you could easily do fairly easy monochromatic looks. So you could do just this matte and this shimmer, this matte and this shimmer. You could do an all green look. You can do just the blues. You could do like the orange shade with the orange shimmer. Like you could do those really quick, one matte, one shimmer looks, which I think I'll do on a practical basis in the summer when I want color. But for now, I want to try out the colors. So I have a lot of ideas, so we'll just see what happens. So I think I'm gonna try the Sky shade. This didn't really show up when I swatched it, so I want to see how it works on my eyes. Picking that up on a fluffy brush, picks up very nicely. It's kind of that pinky coral, pinky peach. And I'm gonna put that on the inner part of my crease. I already primed with my Urban Decay eye primer, which is my go-to. And this is just a fluffy rougher brush. So I'm just gonna put a little bit of that right here. I just wanna see if it even shows up before I move on with my idea. And actually I'm gonna take a smaller brush, pick up a little bit more, and kind of build it. Okay, so this shade, if you're my skin tone or around my skin tone, is not gonna show up very well. I don't mind that. I'll be able to use it to like blend out the orange shade, and maybe even this shade down here. but that's it. This is not one that I can like actually just wear by itself. Okay, so now that I know that, I'm gonna wipe off my brush and I'm gonna go into Seashell, which is the purple, and I'm gonna put that on the rest of my crease. So you can see they are pretty powdery, but that's normal for Nomad. It also just, powdery means more blendable in most cases. So that's very pretty. So this is nicer than the, that's really pretty. This is nicer than the shade in the Natasha Denona pastel palette that's similar. This is much nicer. That one was a blending shade, not a all over shade. So I'm just blending this into my crease. I really like that. It's that like a lilac-y orchid purple. And it's already, the edges are already blended. Nomad shadows blend pretty effortlessly. And I think I want to do kind of a purpley blue look for the first one. So I'm going to take that shade Dolphin and I'm going to run that on my lower lash line. And then I'm going to take the dark blue shade and blend it into the edge. So that's very pigmented, really nice. And then taking this little brush that's already blue from using another blue, but it is clean. It's kind of stained. I'm gonna take the blue shade and I'm gonna put that out here. That's really pigmented, really pretty. So you're not gonna get a lot of depth from this palette, but that's okay. I just wanna see how this will blend into the purple. If we can get some depth. So that little bit went a long way. This is what I was hoping the blue in the Avatar palette would be like. Okay, so that was a very pigmented blue. I barely tapped in for that. I'm gonna go back in with that first shade and blend everything together and kind of try to make a new purple. Okay, so that looks really interesting so far. I'm just gonna take my concealer brush and clean up the edge right here just to make sure it's the right shape I want. This just has product on it left from when I did my concealer. And now I have that lifted shape I like. So this definitely blended together nicely. So you've got a gradient of like very blue to the like blue purple to just the purple. And then I think what I want to do is I'm going to use the shade Tahiti and then maybe the whale shade and do blue and purple on the lid. So I'm going to put a little bit of NYX glitter glue down just because that is what I generally do and see how these shimmers look. Okay, so I'm going to take the shade Tahiti on my flat brush. And it's like a lot of other Nomad shimmers where you can see a lot of sparkle in it. So it's the purple, but there's bits of like gold and blue and pink and other purple in there. So it's not like a shift, like a multi-chrome or something where there's like a shift from one shade to another, but there's like sparkle from all the other colors. So that picked up nicely and I'm gonna put that over the middle of my lid. So that's really pretty. Very just sparkly purple. And then I'm gonna take a little bit on the back of the brush, I'm gonna take a little bit of the dark blue shimmer Ocean, and I'm gonna put that right here. And then I'm gonna take this Whale Duochrome, and then I'm gonna take this shade here, the light blue, and I'm gonna put that on the inner part of my lid and inner corner. And then I think I'm gonna take a small pencil brush and pick up a little bit of the sparkly shark shade and put that down here. Just using as many colors as I can. Okay, so I really like this, and I definitely like the way the blue and the purple mix together up here. Okay, so I really like that. I'm gonna go put mascara and stuff on and be right back. Okay, so this is the finished look number one. I really like this. It's very bold and colorful. Blue, purple, love it. So let me know what you think. So far I would say, except for that sky shade not really showing up, the rest of them performed beautifully. So let me know what you think of look number one in the comments below, and let's go over to look number two. Okay, so for look number two, I think I'm gonna do the orange shade Manna and try some of these shades up here. Some of these shades up here, because I think I wanna do more green in my last look. So I'm gonna start with Manna. I'm picking that up with a fluffy brush, clean these off, tap off the excess, and I'm gonna put that all in my crease. So very pigmented orange, very powdery though. Does not bother me, but I know it bothers some people, so I like to point it out. This is a really fun launch, and I know Nomad normally partners with a local organization or charity, and some of the proceeds go there, but this one they did too, which I think is really interesting. So this is a very pigmented orange. I'm gonna try the shade Sky again on the same brush, and just kind of use that to blend the edges. It's really blowing out the orange shade, but I don't mind that. And they blend together nicely, so I don't see a harsh edge. So this is a much more blown out look than this one. Okay, so I just put on a little bit of glitter glue again, and now I want to try some of these shimmers. So I think I'm going to do Moon and Sun, and then maybe Bora Bora on the inner corner. So let's try Moon first. That looked really beautiful, very orange. And I'm going to put that on the middle of my lid. I'm going to actually try 3 shades, kind of like I did over here. Okay, so this shade isn't wanting to stick as nicely in my lid as these, and I don't know if I just didn't put enough glitter glue down, and so it's sticking to some and parts not others, but it's not as opaque and pretty as the other shimmers were. I'm gonna try, actually I think all of the shimmers on the top row. So I'm gonna take a little bit of the darker pink shade from over here, and I'm gonna put that on the outer part of my crease, or my lid. Okay, and then I'm just taking more of Moon and putting it all over right here. That. And with a little pencil brush, I'm gonna pick up the shade Bora Bora, which is the like bluey pink duochrome up here. I'm gonna put that on the inner corner. That's pretty. I think it's kind of like in the Snow Lodge palette. This shade down here, Ski Bum, was really beautiful and a really strong duochrome shift. And then Powder Specialist was a little drier, and I feel like better for inner corner or face highlight. And I think Bora Bora is the same kind of formula. And then I'm gonna take a little bit of Sun and put that, Sun is the more pink shimmer here. I'm gonna put a little bit of that on my lower lash line. And I'm just taking that on the tip of this shader brush. So that's very bright, really pretty, and very summery. So I'm gonna go finish eye look number 2 off camera real quick, and I'll be right back. Okay, so I'm back, and this is the finished look number 2. I just added some liner and mascara. I really like it. It doesn't have as much going on as this one. This is much more approachable. This is a much, especially if you did less shimmers, a much faster look. You could do this as an easy summertime going to work or gonna spend the day in the park kind of look. The orange matte and the pinky orange shimmers blended really nicely together, and it looks really nice. So I really like this. You're not gonna get a lot of depth from these shades, but it's not meant to be. You can tell that you're not gonna get that depth. So, okay, so I really like both of these looks so far. I'm actually not sure which one I like more. I feel like I might wear this one more than I would wear this one, but I do really like this. These are also my favorite colors though, so I'm a little biased. And I think these colors look really nice against my skin tone. So I'm gonna go clean up and clean my brushes and stuff, and I will be back in a few moments for look number 3, or just a second for you actually. Okay, so I'm back. I cleaned off my brushes, I cleaned up my eyes. I did leave some mascara on, and then I redid my concealer. And so for my third and final look, I really want to use basically all of the shades in this middle row. They are the ones that called on me the most out of the palette, so I want to save them for last. So I'm going to start with the shade Tiki, which is that bright lime green. I'm going to put that in my crease with this big fluffy brush. And I already re-primed with my Urban Decay primer. So I'm just kind of patting that and blending. This is a very nice green. Yeah, I like that a lot. It's that yellowy green that I love. And I think I'm gonna take the shade Stingray, which is the like more teal shade, and I'm gonna put that on my lower lash line, and then I'm gonna use Lizard out here. So that is very pigmented. That was one dip. It also is a little darker than it looks like it might be in the pan, so that's nice. You can definitely build up some depth with that. So I really smoked out the lash line with this. So that is a very, very pigmented shade. And I'm gonna next try the shade Lizard, which is the very green, like true green. And I'm gonna place that right here on the outer part of my lid and in my crease. That is so pretty. And then I'm just using the same brush to blend it into my crease a little bit. It's blending into Tiki beautifully. Looks like it's starting to rain, so you might hear some of that. I definitely went overboard with the Stingray shade. Did not really think it would be that pigmented. Okay. And then going back in with the fluffy brush, I'm just gonna blend those two together. Okay, so that is very green. I really love the way that looks. So I'm gonna add a little bit of glitter glue like before and try out these shimmers. Okay, so I used Shark a little bit in my first look, so I'm gonna stick with Turtle and Fish. So I'm gonna pick up Turtle on my Refer brush. This is a beautiful color of green. I'm gonna put that over the majority of my lid, and then I'm gonna do Fish on the inner corner and blend it in, and then maybe a little under here too. Yeah, this is really pretty. This might be my favorite shade in the palette. And then flipping the brush over, I'm gonna pick up some of Fish and put that right here. I do think Turtle is a shade that will look a little different on people that aren't olive, so I'm curious to see when I watch other people's videos how it shows up on their skin tones. Okay, so I'm gonna go off camera real quick to copy this on the other eye, finesse a little bit, and I'll be right back with my final thoughts. Okay, so I'm back, and this is the finished final look. I just repeated it on the other eye, add a little bit of my Sub-Zero ColourPop liner. It's the yellow sparkly one. It's my go-to for any kind of look with these colors. Sorry, there's a dog outside. And then I tidied up the edges with some concealer, and I love this. I do think that Turtle might be my favorite shade in the palette. It's such a pretty shimmer. Also, Stingray is so pigmented, I just can't get over that. So I've used basically all of the shades now, and I think they're really nice. I wish this shade Sky actually showed up on my skin tone. I could use it as a wash of color, but it would be very, very subtle. But it worked really nicely with the orange shade Manna, so it's fine. I can blend it out with that, and I like having those shades. The only other thing I might change is swapping, like, I really liked this shade, and I like Sun, but maybe one of them as like a matte, that color would have been really nice to go with the orangey tones, but I think it looked really pretty. I think the looks I'll do with this most of the time are not like this. They'll be more like I did the second look, where it's a matte, a shimmer or two. But I think this is really fun, really pretty. I think this is the perfect summer palette. I think this is basically what people wanted the Natasha Denona pastel palette to be. Obviously this isn't pastel. It does have some pops of pastel, but I think this is what people wanted, because the people who didn't like the pastel palette kept saying, oh, I wish this had a darker color in it. And this does have those darker colors. So if you were one of those people that was hoping the Natasha Denona pastel palette had a little more depth, had a little more variety in it, this is something I would highly recommend checking out, especially because it's like $20 cheaper and you get more shades. So like I said at the start of the video, this should be $44. My code BONES will save you 10%. You can also use other people's codes if you'd like. I don't earn any money from that. It's not an affiliate code. It's just to save you money. So I highly recommend using it or someone's if you do pick this up. And like I said, this will also be launching tomorrow as you're watching this, or I think technically like midnight tonight. But it shouldn't sell out. Nomad doesn't like their palettes to sell out right away, that they want them to be there if people want them. So there should be plenty of stock. I think the only palette that sold out almost instantly was the Haunted Europe, and they were shocked by that, and they have made adjustments to their ordering supply since. Okay, so let me know in the comments below what you think of look 3, what you think of the 3 looks all together, which one's your favorite, if you're planning on picking this up now or sometime in the future. Like always, thank you for watching. Remember to like and subscribe, and I will see you all in my next video.